Well, the thing about Interact that I really love the most is there's people from all over the place. I've just talked to somebody from Serbia, somebody here from Belgium, and there's people in from Portugal. So it's really representative of the whole of Europe, and that's what the IAB is really about, bringing all these people, the interest in digital advertising, all together. That's the bit I love. We call it networking, but I just call it getting to know people. The thing about retail media is it's growing very, very fast across the world. But there's nuances and differences in every market. So it's really important that people come together to compare notes and share ideas. Because what's happening in Spain is different to what's happening in Germany, what's different happening in France, what's different happening in the UK, and so on. And it's actually in understanding these nuances that people realise that actually it's a new thing that requires a different way of thinking, and only through comparing notes with other people will actually the whole industry go forward. Well, one of the things that there's a lot of people when they talk about retail media, they're talking about market growth or market size or this problem and that problem, and there's a lot of cliches going on. And the reason I say reload it is just basically I want people to get back to basics about the game we're in. And the game we're in is marketing, and the game of marketing is about customer acquisition, customer conversion, and customer retention. And so within that, that's why I talked about the idea of creativity, because at the heart of how you acquire, convert, and engage customers is understanding the triggers for that, which at its heart lies at the concept of creativity. Now, creativity itself is a very wide-ranging meaning. It's kind of like a very abstract term, but it's an interesting label to describe how the things that we do appear on screens or on anything in front of our target customers to acquire, convert, and retain them. So that's why I wanted to talk about creativity. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was really around the idea of effectiveness and how retail media can actually drive effective outcomes for both brands and for retailers and for shoppers. And the reason I say this is a lot of talk in the industry about measurement, ROAS, ROI, and all the rest of it. But again, and also is it effective or is it a sales tax, whatever it may be. But actually, when you look at it, there's a ton of studies out there about effectiveness from people who really understand what they're talking about, and these are peer-reviewed papers that are appearing in journals. So the data is there, and what I wanted to do was bring that to light. Now, the third part of that, what I talked about today, was around collaboration. Now, collaboration is at the heart. When I talk to people like this, what I say is retail media is the Trojan horse that will change how we do marketing for some very simply explained reasons. At the moment, in most divisions, in most marketing divisions in most companies, we've got shopper marketing, brand marketing, digital marketing, e-commerce, and trade marketing. And these are all operating independently. So my own clients are actually operating in different buildings, in different cities, or even in different countries. And so this siloization, if you will, of this is causing problems for retail media, because retail media is a bit of brand, a bit of shopper, a bit of digital, a bit of everything. So retail media is the Trojan horse to turn around how we've currently siloed ourselves to turn into new forms of collaboration. And that's, collaboration is also at the heart of what we're trying to do here at the IAB at the conference. So there's a theme that ran through it, which was collaboration is important for retail media, but it's also important for the IAB. To answer that question, really, I've got to answer it in two ways. The retailers all stand out with one particular thing that they're sharing, which is that they all struggle with low margins and they need new forms of revenue. And they're embracing retail media as a tool to go do that. But in doing so, they're learning all these new things about how media works and then actually how retail works. So they're transforming their businesses. And the second thing that's happening with brands is that they're seeing these new channels, such as retail media. The good ones are seeing it with fresh eyes and fresh opportunity. So that's the theme. The good folks are embracing things, and folks who are a little bit behind are kind of just seeing it through the lens, looking through the rear view mirror, and the good ones looking through the front. Very simple answer. What's exciting me the most is the digital in-store screens. They're a new format that people are still thinking that they're just cardboard on steroids, but they're actually a completely different way of communicating. They're going to have their own design language, their own language that communicates to customers differently. And I say to every brand who I'm talking to is you've got to really understand the technology that drives these in-store screens, the CMSs and the things that enable all these things, such cool things such as day parting. The length of time these ads are going to be on screen will actually also determine what your level of effectiveness can be. So we've got to really understand this. That's a real opportunity, and it's a white space opportunity for a number of years because so few brands are grabbing that opportunity. I definitely can, and I'm going to use 3 words beginning with C: commitment, capability, and collaboration.